Hello and welcome to Newsfeed this afternoon. My name is Flora Limuki. A top story this afternoon. President William Ruto is at the moment meeting with elected leaders from the Western region at the Kakamega State Lodge. Among leaders present are the Governors Fernandez Barras of Kakamega, Wilbert Otichilo of Vihiga, and George Natembea of Trans Nzoia. The meeting coming just days after elected leaders from the region met the president at State House in Nairobi. Let us now cross over and listen in.
So that you can put some policies in place that can spur economic growth and hence create more employment for our children. It is too early kuanza kupima umefanya nini na umefanya because sisi vile unasikia bado tunangojea kusikia vijana wetu wengine wamepata kazi kidogo kama kina Malala. Rashida ananisumbua sana ndio anajaa. Kitu kidogo is when I will have peace in this region. Because you still have to come at any time. If it's Wycliffe, ukitoka kwa Wycliffe unapitia kwangu, ukitoka hapo unapitia kwa Mheshimiwa Kadware, unaenda kwa NC, unaenda kwa Otichilo, au viongozi wote utawatembelea, but it will be more peaceful. Come on, these my two boys. Because they will make a lot of noise. Now unawajua. Sitaki kwenda sana, Your Excellency, this is your area. I'm happy. Na mimi kwa kubaya wangu, sikiza. Mimi ni KANU. Aliyenipeleka kwa KANU ni baba ya Musalia. Mimi ukinipeleka bahali kutoka hapo inakuwa ngumu. Sasa tumekutana na Wycliffe wakasema tutembee barabara moja. And he's here. Na Wycliffe tena msiniambie toka hapa. Let me end it there. We wish you well. We wish your administration well. I want to thank our MPs. They are very responsible MPs. Iko mwingine baba yake mtoto ya maungu iko wapi hapa? Ile mtu mjumbe aliwanga iko wapi? I worked with your dad. Your dad is a very good man. Na najua utafuata miguu ya baba yako, utakuunga mkono. Thank you very much. Asante sana kwa kunisikiza.
Asante sana mzee wetu Atwoli. Na sisi kama wanamlembe nation, Mheshimiwa Rais, we want to assure you have our support. Ningependa sasa kumkaribisha seneta wetu ambaye ni mtetezi wa wanyonge, Senator Boni Khalwale. Karibu.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition has cancelled plans to hold a parallel Jamhuri Day feat at Jacaranda grounds. National Assembly Minority Leader Opiyo Wandayi said the event was called off because of upcoming engagements that will keep the party's top leaders away. This coming just hours after the Azimio Brigade held its first public consultation meeting at the Kamukunji grounds, where they gave irreducible minimums to President Ruto's administration.
From any of my colleagues. And this is a statement about the Jamhuri Day celebrations. And we are here talking on behalf of the Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Coalition Party. We wish to announce that the Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Coalition Party will now not hold a parallel Jamhuri Day celebrations on 12th December 2022 as earlier planned. The cancellation of this parallel Jamhuri Day meeting has been occasioned by upcoming engagements that will keep the party's top leaders away in the run-up to Jamhuri Day and a few days after. Now, those engagements were awaiting confirmation at the time the announcement of the parallel celebrations were made. But since the confirmation has now been made, we have therefore to clarify that our planned Jamhuri Day celebration at Jacaranda grounds in Embakasi East constituency have been cancelled. We have noted that out of fear of being outnumbered by the People's Dialogue Forum on the 12th of December,
President William Ruto has launched the construction of a tuition block at the Technical University of Kenya. The president noted that the building will go a long way in aiding the institution to absorb more learners in the facility, adding that the government will relook into the charter of the institution so as to enable it widen its operations in matters technical studies.
I note with appropriate support the university can produce factory and machinery parts, including motor vehicle parts for the local market and export. And I look forward to building the bridge between your workshops, your laboratories, with the eventual industry users, so that we can create the nexus and create the ecosystem for us to be able to use and leverage on the knowledge and skills in building and supporting our industry. We must seize this priceless opportunity to place our industrialization agenda in our hands and enhance local capacity to compete globally in sophisticated industrial projects. I commend the university for taking effective measures to resolve various challenges standing in the way of its ability to fulfill its mandate. The capacity and space constraints occasioned by sudden expansion without commensurate funding has been a major problem. I am also aware that there is misalignment between the ministry's charter and the constitutive legislative instrument, which affects the clarity of its mandate. And I want to say here, after consultations with the council chair and the vice chancellor, that we will rework and we will recharter this university so that we can establish this university as a special technical university, not just a university. I know the charter that was given to this university is a charter like for any other university, but that should not be the case. The Technical University of Kenya should not just be Technical University in name, it should be Technical University by charter. And as always, funding for public universities remains inadequate, with multiple implications for their performance and capacity to contribute optimally to the national agenda.
Drama unfolded Wednesday near Kiri Coffee Factory along Kiamutungu-Kianyaga Road in Gishugu, Kirinyaga County, after the driver of a pickup ferrying charcoal lost his life. It is alleged that 2 police officers stopped the driver and demanded for a bribe worth 3,000 shillings. Charcoal dealer Simon Joroge, who was the passenger, narrates that they drove away at a very high speed, but unfortunately, their vehicle lost control and rolled several times near Kiri Factory, where the driver died on the spot. The police officers who arrived at the scene had a difficult time collecting the body, as angry Kiamutungu residents pelted them with stones.
Tukawa na askari hapo. Kama sasa tukasimama, tukaongea nao, lakini tulikuwa kusikizana. Tulipokuwa kusikizana, tukaanza kutukimbiza, tukaingia kwa gari. Tukaanza kutukimbiza. Tulikuwa na Probox KBT. Sasa tukakuja hapa kwa mteremko, ndio driver akaruhusu. Kwa hapa juu ya ajali. Sasa ajali imekuwa hapa.
ni mtu alikuwa amekibishwa na makaa. Sasa kubishwa kwake amekibishwa na askari wakiamtia. Sasa amekibishwa kama kabishwa. Sasa wakati amefika kwa hii daraja iko hapa, gari ikaruhusu control. Sasa akaanguka. Sasa kuanguka kwake mtu mmoja amekufa. Hii dereva amekufa na yeye amepelekwa Kibugi saa hii.
Shinda yetu kumbwa ni hii moyo ambayo imepata kuishia hapa. Hii haki ya hii mtu itapatikanaje kama huyu OCS wameweza kuchukua ile mwili kwa lazima, wakatoka na ile mwili wakaenda na wakatupiga hapa na pia. Familia iko imefika, nasikia kila familia yao iko Nairobi.
Parents in Lamu Island have expressed fears of an increase in the number of children who will indulge in drug use if the government abolishes boarding schools. The parents have asked the government to remove the order, saying that despite the fact that boarding schools have helped many parents whose children refuse to study, boarding schools have helped children to grow. In addition, they have said that there will be an increase in young people joining terrorist groups, a situation that will worsen the level of education and endanger the safety of residents in the villages.
Boarding school ni pahala ambaye hurekebishwa watoto. Boarding school ni kijana ambaye hasikii, anahifadhiwa kwenye boarding school, anasoma na analeta mabadiliko katika jamii. Serikali ikifunga boarding school, kwa primary school ikifunga boarding, itaangamiza kizazi kitakachokuja, kwa sababu boarding school imeweza kusitiri maisha ya wazazi. Na sisi kuna vijana wetu ambao hawasikii. Tukiwapeleka boarding school ni tayari tumekabilisha serikali washughulikie wale watoto. Zikifungwa boarding school, watoto wengi watakuwa wakora.
Inasaidia watoto wengi sana. Ya kwanza kwa kusoma, ina save time. Na ya pili pia inawapa watoto morality ya kusoma, kwa sababu wakiona wale watoto wenzake wakisoma na mtu ambaye yuko chini pia kimasomo, anachangia na yeye pia kufanya nini? Kusoma, kwa sababu ina moral ya kusoma kama kuna wenzake vile wanavyosoma. Transport, sasa kama watoto kiwa boarding ina less transport, kwa sababu hahitaji mtoto kuondoka pale boarding kurudi nyumbani, watakuwa wako hapo hapo, na hiyo inafanya muda mzuri wa kusoma na transport hivyo inasevika.
The First Lady Rachel Ruto has emphasized on the need to combat the effects of climate change in the country. This comes at a time when the country is facing the worst drought in 40 years. She also noted that household air pollution generated from the use of polluting cooking fuels and technologies is a major source of disease and environmental degradation in most Kenyan homes.
Climate change is a crisis, but we must see the opportunity to build better. And this is why I want to express my commitment to clean cooking and to ensure no one is left behind in Kenya, and that our homes and places of work are safe for all. I look forward to partnering with many of you here tonight to make this dream a reality.
And this follows through on the Forest and Climate Leaders Partnership that President Ruto and Prime Minister Sunak launched at COP27.
Kenya joined many other countries in submitting an ambition to achieve universal access to modern energy cooking services by 2028.
The National Council of Churches of Kenya has hailed the plan to reintroduce the Office of Official Opposition, saying it was part of its proposal in the failed Building Bridges Initiative BBI, adding that Kenyans should be involved in the inception of these constitutional changes that will alter the organization of the government and especially the National Assembly. Speaking during the end-of-year National Delegates meeting, the Council General Secretary General Chris Kinyanjui also urged the government to re-evaluate its decision to abolish boarding in primary schools, saying that there is still room for discussions before the decision is implemented. Regarding the recent move by the DPP to withdraw some court cases, the clergy urged Nordin Haji to explain to Kenyans why some cases have been withdrawn at advanced stages.
Passed a constitution that does not have a position for the opposition leader. However, we have an opposition in this country, currently in parliament led by the leader of the minority party. As NCSK, we have made our pronouncement very clear. We would like junior secondary school to remain within the primary school, and where possible, we should discuss as a country whether they are going to be boarding, because not all children can attend this school. The issue of DPP and the withdrawal of cases from the court, we have discussed it and we have come to the conclusion that we need further information from the DPP himself, and we shall pronounce ourselves in the future. We don't know whether he is doing the right thing or the wrong thing. And if he had charged people without adequate evidence or cases that cannot succeed, we would like to know why he did that. We have also observed the action of the President on that resolution of Parliament. We have seen the resignation of the 3 commissioners. If the tribunal is going to carry out its affairs, if there is still a commissioner who has not resigned, they have to do it.
The Seafarers Union of Kenya has lauded the government in its efforts to boost job markets in seafaring labor, as more recruits have been hired by the MSC Cruisers. An Italian shipper to work abroad. The practice is set to act as a pacesetter to the rest of the industry in realizing the government's dream to curb unemployment rate in the country. At the same time, its members have been cautioned over seafarers unions to shun discrimination when suggesting workspaces in the MSC cruises, citing that Kenya is professionally rich in sea jobs.
We do have 4,500 Kenyans who have already gotten letters and are in the process of traveling. Some of them have traveled. What we would like to see is over 100,000 Kenyans going out there. This can translate to over 10 billion a month coming in for Kenyans. This can change Kenya.
I'm proud to join the MSC as a butler service junior butler. The recruitment was nicely, we did interviews, and we were happy for the staff of MSC to come to Kenya and to give us this opportunity to be the crew members of the MSC.
Kweli hii kazi kuipata tumeipata, lakini katika preparations zake zahitaji pesa. Hivyo basi tunaiomba serikali iingilie kati, ione venye inaweza kusaidia kuharakisha hizi preparation tuweze kusafiri haraka, kwa sababu tuko na moyo wa kazi, tunahitaji kwenda kazi kufanya kazi.
Financially inawaleta chini, wengine wanakosa mpaka kwenda, wengine meli zao zinawaacha, wengine wanashindwa kibadilisha tarehe, of which it's not good and it's not pleasing.
Various stakeholders on children's rights in Embu County have put up a camp to provide mentorship and life skill coaching to teenagers in the county during the long holiday. Organizers say mentorship among teenagers has been lacking, leading to moral decay among teenagers. 150 teenagers have benefited from the mentorship, with Embu County Director of Youth and Sports Ibrahim Rehema noting that teenagers are going through a lot of challenges and largely remaining silent, urging parents to take a leading role in molding their children during this long holiday.
Kama viongozi facilitator ni kwamba vijana wanaumia kwa mambo mbalimbali kama gender based violence, mambo ya education, mambo ya life skills hawana, na tumeweza kusemezana na wao kwa umbali, na pia tumerealize kwamba pia pale nyumbani kuna shida. So tunaomba wazazi wajitokeze kusupport watoto wao, na mtoto akiwa na shida asiogope ku reach out to the government and other stakeholders kusaidia wale watoto ndio waweze ku realize dreams zao kesho.
Tunaweza tukazuia. Ukiangalia pia mambo kama ya drugs kama uvutaji wa bangi, kukunywa pombe mapema sana. It's also not something good to these young ones, because some of them they don't know, they're just trying because they found maybe the people around them wameanza kufanya those kind of things, even in terms of crime.
Low voter turnout has so far characterized the Bungoma Senate by-election. Voters trickled in to cast their ballots shortly after the polling station opened at 6 a.m. and by midday, presiding officers and polling clerks in several polling stations remained idle. The main contenders from Ford Kenya, UDA and Azimio saying that the outcome of the polls was likely to be affected by the poor voter turnout. We now join our reporter Mike Kagwongo to bring us up to speed on the latest in that area.
Thank you, Flora. Indeed, I can get to you loud and clear. As you earlier on mentioned, we are in Bungoma County in Webuye East constituency, and as you earlier on mentioned, it's true that we've experienced and witnessed low turnout since this morning, as very few voters have arrived to cast their vote. If my camera person can pan you the camera for you around to show you and to showcase what's going on here. These are the polling stations here in Webuye East constituency, whereby about 10%, we can say so, have come out to vote or to cast their votes. Indeed, it's a very low turnout so far as voting here in Bungoma County is concerned. We've gone to different schools here in Bungoma regarding voting process, that is in Webuye West, Webuye East, Tongaren, and also we have been in Kimi Lili constituency. We've also been in Kabuchai constituency, and indeed we've been in Bomula as well. We also have been in Kandui constituency, whereby we've been traversing across the county to get a glimpse of what's happening. With me here is Aggrey Namisi, the former Webuye West Chairman. Chairman, you have been executive secretary current. You've experienced and witnessed different voting scenarios in the past, and now this is the very low turnout. What have you experienced so far?
I have had an experience. I started voting in 1978. Up to this time, this is the worst, the lowest voter turnout compared to all that I have experienced. And the reason is very, very clear. One, that people are not interested in voting, because when they voted, their vote did not count. Two,
what do you mean by their vote did not count?
You see, it was taken to court, and eventually the decision was made by the Supreme Court, and you can understand that the situation so far, Kenyans are not satisfied for what happened, because almost a half, 7 million voted for Dr. William Samoei Ruto, and also almost 7 million voted for Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. 8 million did not vote in Kenya. So people have joined, and that's why I have voted here, I'm a voter here, and in my stream I have been number 47 in voting. That shows that there is a problem in this place. And we are talking about not 10%, even less than 10% voting. The reason is that last time people were coerced by money to come and vote. Right now, there is no money to coerce people to come and vote. That is the difference. Yes.
Thank you so much. Flora, as you can hear from himself, Aggrey Namisi, a very low turnout is actually, it follows how people perceived the general election, and after that maybe they fear how to vote. Earlier on we did interact with Bungoma County residents, and here is what they had to say.
Tunawakashifu sana. Tunataka siasa zenye zimekomaa. Kenya yetu imesonga mbele. Sasa mambo ya vita hakuna, mambo ya ukabila hakuna. Kama unaweza kubuka kidogo, kiketi yenye imetoka kupiganiwa sana ni ya president. Wakikuyu ambao walikuwa wanaonekana kama wezi votia mtu mwingine, waliweza kusimama kwa kauli moja na wakamvotia Mheshimiwa Ruto. Kwa hivyo mambo ya ukabila Kenya imeisha, na tunataka kusonga mbele. Tunataka siasa zenye zimekomaa. Tunataka tuendage tunavote na unaenda unafungua duka. Unaenda unavote na unaenda kwa kazi yako nyingine, sio kuvote na kukimbia kujificha. So hiyo ndio Kenya tunahitaji kwa wakati huu.
Nyinyi kama wawekezaji wapi?
Kwa sababu kama saa hii hapa Kimilili hakujatokea tukio lolote ambapo labda kumekuwa na vurugu ama kisio la wizi wa kura. So naomba wakaji wote hata baada ya kura waendelee kuweka amani katika kaunti ya Bungoma, kwa sababu tunapiga tu kura ya useneta peke yake, na kama mtu yako atapoteza kura naomba kwamba ukaweze kuvumilia hiyo, kwa sababu 2027 pia bado tutakuwa na uchaguzi mwingine.
Zenye wamekuwa wanajaribu, lakini security was in charge. Na unajua pahali ukianza kufanya mchezo, mimi walikuwa wamejaribu kufanya vitu kama hiyo. Kuna zile walikuwa wanapanga kwa mikakati kwa watu fulani, lakini DCI and security were on watch out, na hizo vitu hakuna. Tumekuwa na free and fair election. Wale kama mtu saa hii akipatikana na kitu chochote na kuja na kitu ya ukora, urongo, ninaomba serikali mchukulie hatua.
Watu hapa nyuma, viongozi ambao walipikiwa kura, wamekuwa wanajaribu kuforce wananchi kwamba lazima mtu fulani achakuliwe, lakini nimeona sasa Bungoma imeona mbele. Bungoma inasema kwamba hawatalazimishiwa kiongozi, wenyewe watachakua kiongozi wao.
Mimi nataka tu niseme naungana na wenzangu
who remarks that indeed this county needs someone that will be pushing hard for their resources to be distributed equally from Webuye East to Webuye West, indeed to Kabuchai to Sirisia. Here where we are right now is Webuye East constituency, led by former MCA who is now investor Pepela Martin Wanyonyi. So we are keeping tabs here in Bungoma County, and we'll be bringing you whatever has happened over the day at 7 and 9 p.m. in our subsequent bulletin. Back to you, studio. My camera person and I will be moving on to get a glimpse to different constituencies here in Bungoma County. I'm Mike Kagwango. Back to you, Flora.
Well, thank you, Mike Kagongo, for that. Our reporter bringing us live updates from Bungoma County, where the senatorial by-election is ongoing. Remember, this seat fell vacant after Moses Wetangula, who is a former senator, was elected the National Assembly Speaker. And on that